A bed crisis at Bermuda's main hospital. And in sport, Barbados Pride dominate regional 4-day championship leaders Guyana Jaguars on the opening day of their 8th round game. I'm Nicole Best, and this is the Caribbean in 10 for Friday, March 24. I'll be back with the details after the break. Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today. Health officials in Bermuda are dealing with a crisis at the island's main hospital where there are no free beds. The Bermuda Hospital's Board Chief Executive Officer, Vinetta Simmons, says authorities are managing the situation as best they can, but it is a serious challenge. As a result, acutely ill patients and urgent surgeries will take priority at the King Edward VII Memorial Hospital.
There are no patient beds right now at the hospital. And what does that mean? It means if you need acute care in the community, of course, you're going to come to BHB. But right now, every single bed in our emergency department and in our new acute care wing is completely full. Experiencing increases in capacity within the last couple of months. Yes, there are a lot of respiratory illnesses right now, but there are a multitude of factors that are making it difficult for BHB to empty beds. Please be assured that we are working with the Minister of Health and other stakeholders to manage the medium and long-term needs for Bermuda, but right now in this immediate situation, I will go as far as to say that operationally, internally to BHB, it is a crisis.
Several religious officials, including pastors from across the Caribbean, have called on the United States to halt the promotion of LGBT rights abroad. A report published in LGBT publication The Washington Blade said 289 ministers of religion from the Bahamas, St. Martin, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana made the request in a letter sent to U.S. President Donald Trump earlier this year. They pointed to the policies of the U.S. State Department and other government agencies involved in foreign policy that have tried to coerce other countries into accepting a mistaken version of marriage. The leaders lamented that threats of loss of funds were being used to force other countries to fall in line with same-sex agenda. The former mayor of a small Haitian village in 2012 has been sued in a United States federal court for human rights abuses. The Center for Justice and Accountability and the multinational Denton's law firm Thursday filed the civil lawsuit that accused Jean-Maurice Villena of torture, extrajudicial killing, attempted extrajudicial killing, and arson. He's been sued under the Torture Victim Protection Act of 1991, which gives foreign victims of human rights abuses the right to sue in U.S. courts whenever the perpetrator is found in the United States. Lawyers are seeking unspecified compensatory and punitive damages against Villena, who is now a Boston school bus and Uber driver on the behalf of 3 victims. The lawsuit alleges that after his 2006 election as mayor, Villena led an armed militia in a campaign of terror against media activists and human rights defenders in the village of Les Héroïs in Haiti's Granance region. In 2007, Villanueva's supporters led a reprisal attack against the human rights activist after the activist denounced him in court for assaulting a neighbor. The attack led to the death of the activist's brother. The following year, after Villanueva announced on air that he was shutting down a community radio station, his supporters invaded the host's home, who was beaten and shot and had to get one of her legs amputated. Another person in the house was blinded in one eye by Villanueva's supporters. Villanueva he fled to Boston after a criminal investigation was opened against him in 2009 when a Haitian investigative judge indicted him for murder, battery, and property destruction. Stay with us. Your midday sport is next.
Well, I am not really willing to say that anything is a failure yet. We're going to work extraordinarily hard. You know, we have limited dollars from the government, and that's understandable. But we have a much larger supply of dollars from the private sector and from the faith community.
The individual committing suicide, if they don't leave a note, then you have no idea of what they may have been going through or what may have led to the suicide. So there becomes a lot of speculation. Yes. Okay? Now, for families and persons who are faced with that type of tragedy, what do you say to them? They're looking at feeling guilty for what has happened. Yes. So unless there is some evidence
Continuing with action from the Regional 4-Day Championship, Barbados Pride continues to frustrate Guyana Jaguars with the bat on day 2 of their 8th round game of the Regional 4-Day Tournament in Bridgetown. Today, Pride went to lunch on 400 for 2 with Kyle Hope remaining unbeaten on 172 and Shamar Brooks on 65. Test batsman Craig Brathwaite carved out his 18th first-class 100 to surpass 7,000 first-class runs as Barbados Pride dominated leaders Guyana Jaguars on the opening day. He was joined by West Indies teammate Shea Hope, who gathered his 5th first-class 100 as Pride, choosing to bat first at Kensington Oval, entered the day on 293 for 2. Brathwaite struck 143 while Hope entertained with an unbeaten 118. The pair put on 205 for the second wicket in a partnership that pulled the hosts around from 45 for 1 after left-hander Anthony Alleyne perished cheaply for 8 in the first session. Playing only his second game of this season's Regional 4-Day Championship, the 24-year-old Brathwaite immediately made his presence felt. He struck 17 fours in an innings that lasted 236 balls and just over 4 3/4 hours, passing the 7,000-run landmark when he reached 36. To the sport of hockey now. Host TNT might be the team to beat in that's the FIH World League's second-round tournament. This after they registered their 3rd straight victory, this time against the United States in the warm-up match yesterday. Ruskin Mark of C Sports has the details for that story.
United States and created several good opportunities. Time and again, the speed of the TNT flankers caused the Americans some unease at the back, and it was desperation time in terms of defending that kept them out. In fact, that was the theme for the first period, as TNT laid siege on the American citadel, but just couldn't break through.
And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Have yourselves a good afternoon.